Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. We'll let everyone jump in. We are live. I am going to. I'm going to go. I'm going to go to my phone, Bellissima,
Okay.
and I'm going to actually log on to Facebook, and that's how we'll
Okay.
see the comments. So we'll be able to see that folks are in and that they're making comments, but won't necessarily be able to see who they are
Okay.
on this tool. So let me just log there. Hey guys, come on in. We are live. Come on in. It is Smart CEO Thursday. It's Smart CEO Thursday. Drop us a note. Let us know who's here. Where are you from? Um, and how your day's going. Let us know what you want us to know. But we want to know who is with us tonight as you guys are coming in. Hey there. Guys, I'm live tonight with my friend and colleague, Billyssia Pierce of BeeFit Foods. It is going to be an epic night.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much for having me, Kyra. I really appreciate it. I always
I
love
love
being
it.
in your presence.
I was going to say the same thing about you. I love what comes out, what we create in our conversations, and just it changes everything. I think we're about to share a little bit. It's almost going to be like we're sharing our conversation with the smart CEOs tonight.
Good deal. Good deal.
Awesome. Yes. Hey guys, glad you're in. Glad you're in. Send some love. All right, we see you on. So, Belicia, Belicia Pierce. If you guys don't know Belicia Pierce, I'm going to do a bit of an introduction. This
Wow.
firehouse is not only an absolute beauty, but she is complete brains and brilliance and grit iron when it comes to rocking the world in the stage of entrepreneurship, fitness, health, and wellness. Belicia has from the bootstrap space, she has leveraged everything she's had to bring BeeFit Foods to life for us. And I will tell you, she has second to none in terms of her class, her resilience, and the quality of her food is amazing. So
Thank you.
we're going to talk a little bit about that. But Belicia, please, please, please share a little bit about yourself so that the smart CEOs can know you are right here in the group. They need to know who you are and know who they have access to. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Belicia Pierce. I am the owner and CEO of BeeFit Foods. We are a healthy meal prep company here located in Greater Houston. We deliver directly to our customers' doors and we have store setups. We also will, in the next month or so, start shipping nationwide. Our customers have been
Oh,
our followers have been hounding us about nationwide shipping, so I'm
awesome.
really excited about it, as well
Awesome.
as some great partnerships that we've been able to attain with ExxonMobil and MD Anderson, and one that we're working on a partnership with mattress firms. So it's been the road, the journey to creating or living in my purpose within BeeFit Foods has been so rewarding. It has been very tough, very, very tough, but what I've been able to attain, the relationships I've been able to establish, and the lives I've been able that we've been able to change, are just astounding. And I feel honored and privileged to be able to have the opportunity and be able to be uh, in this space that God has allowed me to be in. But I started BeeFit Foods 5 years ago. We celebrated 5 years in October of
Wow,
2019.
congratulations.
Thank
Yes.
you. And when I started, I didn't know how to cook. I just had an entrepreneurial mindset, and I was a certified personal trainer, and I knew that my customers. Or my clients that I would train, they could not reach their ultimate success um, without a healthy diet. And so just with that entrepreneur aspect of wanting to build within my company. I started BeeFit Foods, and within 4 months, it took off, and I had to quit. I also had a corporate job. I had to quit that. I could no longer train, and BeeFit Foods has been allowing me to ride this wave ever since. But uh, that's pretty much how BeeFit Foods started. Initially,
Yeah.
I always tell people, I always just kept talking about it. I kept talking about it. Oh, BeeFit Foods is something that I'm gonna create. But until but I just sat on it, and one day I just enough was enough, and I got into the kitchen and started creating. When you, even though I've always viewed myself as non-creative, you'll find that when you're after something, the answers are always there. And so even
Yes.
people that say, I don't know how to get started, but that's just it. You just start. What is it that you want to do?
Yes.
And what is it going to take to get there? And I think what we don't do enough is write down what we think, write down our thoughts, write down the things that we really say. We
Yes.
say it in our head, we envision this amazing person that we want to be, but we don't write it down. And so sometimes it just becomes a thought and it fades away. But if it's in front of you, you're gonna go and get it. And I've just been going to get it ever since.
I'm just going to say, like, that's so amazing, first of all. And as we're literally listening to you, I heard several things. One of the things you said was that you were after it and you kept saying it, right? You kept making it real. And the more real it became, the more real it became. And then you talked about writing it down. And one of the things we were talking about are the dynamics of kind of being in this quarantined or work safe space, or, social distancing. You're alone with you quite a bit more than you normally would be, right? So as individuals, we are in our own zones, in our heads,
Yeah,
probably so much
exactly.
more than we ordinarily would be, because we're not like on our regular hamster wheel. So
Yeah.
literally, what you just said is mirroring a conversation I had earlier on an interview that I did with Cam Hill, and we were talking about this very thing. Like right now, and I want you to talk a little bit about maybe even some things that you've not necessarily share what you've written down, but kind of what those inspirations have kind of led you, kind of the path you've been on in quarantine, so to speak. Like when you realized that you were inspired or something sparked in you and you were like, I know I've got this over here, but now I have some other visions and things that are surfacing because I'm actually still enough to hear them. How have you been handling and managing kind of what's been manifesting in your world over the last couple of months?
I think that this entire quarantine, it's very disastrous, and it's been you know very emotional having to deal with it. But if I really truly put things in perspective, it's been such a blessing for me. It slowed me down. I felt like um, that we were just on this fast paced. Oh gosh, we were just so fast paced, and we were all on a hustle and
Yes.
bustle, and thinking that we had to grind, and we were trying to reach this and trying to reach the top. But what happens when you get there and you're just trying to get there so fast for what? And you
Well,
realize,
we were coming into 2020, Belicia. That's what we were like, on this accelerator, man, coming into 2020. And so everybody's like, I gotta get it. I gotta get it. And I have to have some results. You're right. Our momentum was bananas.
I can't.
It was bananas.
What's the last thing you said? It was cutting up.
Oh, I was just saying, okay, I said our momentum was really bananas.
It
It was
was.
so
It
intense.
was. And
Yes.
so, and then this forced me to slow down, and some changes had to be made. The store couldn't operate how it always operated, and the hours were a little different. And so I sat back and I just had to put things in perspective. I had to sit. I had to stop, and I didn't
Yes.
move on anything, or I didn't make any irrational decisions. I had to say, okay, this is what's happening. How do I stay on top of that? and
Mm-hmm.
some of, just with the guidelines we had to follow. And the good thing about, what just transitioned is, we are a healthy meal prep company, and just as the leader of BeeFit Foods, cleanliness and safety was already our priority. The health aspect
Mm-hmm.
of the kitchens being clean and our employees taking extra precautions, we already have that, but just making sure that those things were in effect and we were still going above and beyond. The stores, maintaining the hours. And so those things switched up. And when I switched them up, I realized that even though I slowed things down a little bit and gave people, you had smaller options to get the things that you needed from us. You couldn't just come into the store anytime, or we started offering our customers free delivery. And although we've always had a delivery service, now we made it to where it was free, to where you don't risk coming. We're going to bring it to you. And
Right.
when I tell you that limiting the store hours and dropping to free delivery has, changed the trajectory of business and myself. It's less stress as a business owner, not, making, because when customers are coming to you, you're responsible for uh, them in the physical. But if we already provide a quality and great customer service, let us bring it to you. That takes away the liability of all the expectations in the store. So if we already
Right.
have that quality product, we already stay on top of our customer service, and you let us bring it to you, it cuts back on issues that can go wrong. And so it just has allowed me to see, even though sometimes we don't think, oh, I can't afford to allow my customers to have free delivery, I need that delivery charge. But you see how much it changes in a different aspect or area of your life, and you realize um, giving something for free actually allows you to gain and attain more someplace else. And that's
Ooh,
what it's allowed me
that's
to do.
good.
And I have more time for me. And not just, I was already in that space anyway, I feel like it's very important that we have balance. And that's mainly what I wanted to talk about today, that total wellness. It's not most times we're just focused on one particular thing. When we're trying to lose weight, we're only focused on our food. When we're trying to get our credit together, we're only focused on our finances. When we're
Yeah.
trying to get over a death or a breakup or something, we're only focused on that therapy. But if you bring that into one, and realize that you need each one
Yes.
more, instead of just giving all of it to one certain thing, I think it'll
I want to
allow.
I want to pull it out because you said it, and then I want you to jump right back into this. You said you realize that if you, I'm just going back to what you said about if you gave away the delivery, you gained so much more on the other side. And I wanted to like pause right there because I think one of the things that people are challenged with is how they perceive and visualize what's actually happening. But you were able to see, even though from a business perspective, it looked like it was going to be a damaging or a harmful, response to the issue. But you realized that the volume or the gains were so much better or so much more valuable that you're not only did you reinforce your customer service element to
Yeah,
your customer,
yeah,
but you also did to your employees, to you, and then now your brand still has some of the same or even better qualities associated with it that we can actually latch on to. So
definitely.
I wanted to just break that open, but that was like the perfect segue into this balance thing because you have to give to get. And that's the balance.
Yeah.
You give to get, you get to give. And so I want you to talk through and this and go in the way that Belicia sees fit, but talk through the dynamics, Belicia, of um, being a go-getter, and you're a thrill chaser, you're an entrepreneur, you're a risk taker, and then realizing that your whole person is now present with you. You know what I mean? You're not running ahead of yourself, and you're not left, you didn't leave anybody behind. but you're present now. And so let's talk about some of the awakenings that you had as you started to discover and align with balance for yourself.
Yeah, so definitely. I think, for the first 3 years, like I said, when I first started my company, I didn't know how to cook. I didn't know my way around the kitchen. I just knew healthy eating. I had the background of having a healthy lifestyle. Um, but so what that caused me to do was just have laser focus. I had to learn all of those things. I had to learn how to put these policies and processes together to make it flow. The production started to increase, and I always felt like I was just some kind of machine. I have no idea how I was able to maintain, but after the years and stuff, I finally had the space where I could slow down a little bit. The policies and procedures and the structure was there. So it allowed me to slow down. And then you realize that um, so much physical damage to your body. I uh, just a couple weeks ago I had to get an MRI done and found out that I have herniated disc in my neck. And um, so what I realized is that, yeah, that can be your thing. Like, business is my thing. That's my thing. That's my love. That's what I love to do. Um, but my family is my heart. And building the younger generation to believe in themselves, because there's nothing like believing in yourself. And I see a lot of people who just look so, they feel so clueless and they don't know where they're supposed to go. And so being able to feed back into those lives, it matters to me. And my business took away from that because, in my head, I think I had convinced myself that those things are small, like focus. And then you're so focused to where you get to this place and you're like, you're so beat up. You never took a time, any self care. You didn't go get massages regularly, and you think it's all glitz and glam, but those things are necessities. And definitely, I know everyone can be in agreement right now that beauty is essential, right?
It's
Oh
completely
my gosh, I was going
essential.
without my hair done and my nails and toes, and I'm like, okay, I appreciate them a lot more. But when you start realizing that those things are important, the self care is important, and that there's even those generational curses that you want to break within your own family, and you have to put focus.
Right.
You can't just break those things by saying you want to break them. It requires some focus, and it
Yeah.
requires for you to be intentional. And
Did you find yourself in that? I was gonna say, did you find yourself deepening in on any particular, personal life changes that you wanted to make? Did you have any awareness? You brought up your family, was there something that popped out for you that you discovered once you slowed down enough to focus?
Well, no, it wasn't just this quarantine. It's been maybe the past couple of years. I just feel like we love each other so much and we're so close, but there was still, like, I feel like I wasn't, even to my siblings, I feel like, I wasn't maybe the best sister, and so I'm real intentional about being a better sister to my sister and a better sister to my brothers, and to my cousins and my aunt and my mom. I think that our love is so strong, and it's just what I want. So I think that I just grew up like laser focused, trying to find a cuter word for selfish, but laser focused on me, and I could have been much more to them. And so now I'm just really intentional about building those relationships with them. And so because I've been one way all my life, and I can no longer be that if I want better, then I have to be intentional about
Ooh,
it. And so it requires some time. It requires time.
that's
So
good. It does. That's real good. You can't be that still if you want better.
yes.
Felicia, you dropped these huge, like life, I call them like life gifts. You just like dropped several of them into this conversation. And
Yeah, yeah. And
I'm
so
really, go ahead.
No, that just made me realize it's balance what you want. It's balance what you
Yes.
want, you know.
Yes.
You can't keep going through life saying, "Oh, that's just who I am. That's just who I am." No, I'm telling you, I always tell people I'm going to be great. I'm of greatness. And when you're of greatness, you have to be of a different caliber person. You have to be on a different mindset level, and a lot of things that people don't think are important. They're important to me, like your character and the principles you live on. I'm a stickler for that, and anyone around me, I make them stand on that. You know, so when you can't just say you're of greatness and just keep doing mediocre shit.
Right.
So,
True
uh,
story. No, seriously.
so
Yeah.
yeah,
But
I'm
we
just
do,
trying to.
Melissa, what we do. We do though. Like we see people on a consistent basis, and we were talking about the memes and all of these expectations and stuff that just kept coming up and coming up and coming up. And so we find ourselves trying to meet all these random, well, I wasn't, but people
Right?
find themselves trying to meet all these random expectations.
No, not
I have a
everybody.
plan. Like I'm operating
Like no.
the blueprint. But we've gotta help, and maybe you can help enlighten us even more. Like as we're like fighting and facing like all of these you ought to be's, you should be's, this is how it should be, kind of that messaging coming at us. I know a lot of us can stand up and say, no, I'm gonna do what I know I've been called to do. But I'm talking about when the rubber meets the road and you've got to make a decision, or you're at home by yourself and you're really getting down on yourself because you feel like you didn't do or become or whatever. Or for the people that had anxiety when they were like, yeah, we're lifting the quarantine and the city's about to open back up, and you're like, shoot, I need 3 more weeks to do what I said I was going to do, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what is that? But that's real. So talk about that and kind of what you did, to discover what you really wanted. Like, what did Bellissima really want, and what you did to kind of really hone in on that as you not only were pivoting and making adjustments in the business, but like really looking at what Bellissima needs from a balanced perspective or from Bellissia's perspective on life. What did
Oh,
you
that's
do?
good. That's good. You know, I had to figure out. Well, I had to acknowledge what balance meant. What does that mean? What does that mean for you? What does that mean for me? What is that? How do you put that into perspective for you? And uh, most and foremost, it put me first. Take
Yeah.
care and nurture yourself. I remember when I was able to slow things down within my business. That the first time I was able to do that, I used to take Wednesdays and have a date for myself. I take myself to dinner, and those are just like this. When I tell you this quarantine was a blessing, it was a blessing. I got to spend. I love. I think a lot of people get into depression and um,
Hmm.
uh, are agitated with
Like
some
people,
things because they don't
yeah.
know how to spend time with themselves. So being alone and you don't know how to deal with the thoughts that you think, and you don't want to be faced with them.
Ooh.
You'd rather not think about it. But you know, I'm really honest with myself. I live my reality. So the things that I know that I don't like about myself, I put them in front of me and attack that. Because that just goes back to me saying I want to be great. I'm of greatness, and you can't be something and still allow things to attack you and act like you don't know that they're attacking you. Every
Oh,
issue
slow
that
down, slow down, slow down. That was good. Girlfriend, that was so good because you're calling people to pay attention to themselves and have those tough conversations with themselves. What is really happening to you? What am I thinking? What is the mindfulness state that I'm in? And that's
yeah,
big,
it
Belicia, because
is.
as you're learning how to be with yourself, I don't care if you're in a house full of people. At the end of the day, you are with yourself. And I remember, I used to say, "Oh, it's so noisy in there. Like it's so noisy in here in my head. Like it's so much going on." And when that thing start to calibrate, and it all kind of finds its own lane to work in, all those messages, all that information, and you're finally alone with yourself. I mean, I'm thinking, I'm strongly encouraging anybody to look for a journal or something so they can
Yes.
start. You got to gotta get that stuff out because there's good stuff in there and it's all jumbled up with all the other messages and
Yep.
information and expectations, that we have. And so
Yeah.
um, I know you're big on kind of putting it before you and writing your lists and identifying like these are the things I need to do. These are the things I need to work on.
Yeah.
This is on my list, but it's not priority today. Like setting some boundaries and creating that kind of
I
dynamic
think I
is I got you back. I got you. You're
I
here.
think I lost you.
You're back. You're back. So finding the dynamics. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me, Kara?
I can. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Messing something up. I
I
can't
can hear you.
hear.
You're good. You can't hear me? Okay. Hey guys, we're going to just kind of allow for this technical issue, but it looks like your mic is
Can you hear
on
me?
and I can. Yes, ma'am. Not sure? Hang on. I'm going to bring her back. Okay, we're going to let her come back on in. But what I was saying was that there is a dynamic that we have to really adjust and face. She'll be back, you guys. Oh, she's back now. See how fast that was? Get her back in. All right.
Thank
I
you.
got you. Okay. So what I was saying was we're adjusting for the dynamics, right, of maintaining a sane mindset and trying to
Yeah.
catalog and categorize all this information we're processing, and then we get along by ourselves. And like you just said, we are all not very good with being alone by ourselves.
Yeah.
Literally, physically, emotionally, like really getting into a space where you're like, this is who I am, all of it. Let's have that conversation. So, Belicia, what's been some of the dialogue that you've had, whether it's been with yourself or a colleague or one of your team members or even a family member? What's been one of those like big ahas that people have had or you've had, while you've really had a chance to like get with yourself, so to speak?
I think it's listening to what people say, how they interpret how you've made them feel. And so a lot of times we
Mm.
don't even think we're a certain way, and someone tells us that this is what they think of you, and you're like, that's not me. But you have to figure out if it matters to you. Now there are some people who just say things about you that you shouldn't. It shouldn't even. It put taking one ear and out the
That's
other.
not
It
about
didn't
you.
matter. You know that
Right,
it wasn't true.
right,
But if it's someone that
right.
if it's someone that you respect and they're say something that you didn't agree with or you didn't think. I think it's still a conversation you should have. Like, why do you feel, whether it's with that person or even if it's with yourself? And so, I think I was just so hard on people. Like, I just when I look at,
Expect.
I'm going to tell you, when I look at people, I see the good in them. And it's so easy for us to look at people and see the mistakes that they made and the hardships they've had in life. But when I know the mistakes you made and the hardships you've had in life, and I know who you are in spite of that, that's what I look at.
Yeah.
That's what I look
That's
at.
good. And so that's what you're gunning for in them. So I feel like you're like, I'm coming straight for the good in you.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
But what
real good. That's
happens? What happens is that I try to make them live that every day. What's funny? I think I'm getting too. I always get too personal with you, Kyra. I always get too personal. But a friend of
well,
mine,
so like, we can take this offline. We can take it offline. But if you're good, let's go.
a friend of mine told me they were like. You expect everyone to be so perfect. I was like, no, I don't. I'm not perfect. And they were like, I know, but you expect everybody else to be. Do you know? I thought about that the entire next day. Like,
Like that's a level set. Whoever that person is, keep them in your life because they're gonna keep you on track because
Man, it was so
those are
real too. It was
those
so real. I had to think about it in my head.
yes.
I wasn't that person in my head. Like, I don't try to, but when I think about it and the expectations I put on people to live their best life, because it's what I'm forcing myself to do, or not forcing myself, it's
Mhm.
just what I want. So I want them to want it. It's just not fair. It's not fair. So, you just have to,
That's good though.
it's just a growth thing. And if you feel like
Yeah.
you can't do that, then you're just continuing to hold yourself back. And I'm not holding myself back. Like when I tell you I see an amazing future, it is there. But I'm not in any kind of rush to get there because the journey is even more beautiful. I
Yes.
fail every day, but in spite of, I know where I'm headed. And so even if I lost everything, and I hate proclaiming that, um, because I know that life will give us tests, but it's just how I feel. If I don't care if I've lost everything, I'm still gonna be great, and I'll get it all back plus more. So that's just the mentality that I have. I'm not afraid of failure. I'm not afraid of those things. That doesn't mean that I don't
It's
still get scared for things, but it just means that it's not gonna stop me.
but it's like the lioness in you. It's so it is. It's like it's the fierceness in you. And I always say, and I'll share a transparent moment with you because I had a reality this morning. I was making my bed and I was like, I feel like I got disrupted. Um, but it's that fierce resilience that, you know what? I know that what's in me, whether it's BeeFit Foods or this other thing,
Whatever.
it's me though. Like it's my character, it's who I am. And so who I am is not going to change, right? And I was laughing because I was I was having a conversation, but I was kind of like having like this, I was like twiddling around the conversation. So it wasn't like this deep thing, but
Yeah.
it was more so like I just wouldn't give a straight answer. Like I was giving like the political
Yeah.
response. Like
Yeah.
it was
Uh-huh.
full of all it was woo, woo, woo. And the person was like, so you're just gonna give me commentary is what you're gonna do.
Like
I
that's
was like,
cute and
so
all.
the Billyssia like cut straight through me. And I said, so you just gonna call my
Yeah.
BS is what you did. I was like, I don't know that I like that, but I appreciate it.
You
Now I'm woman
appreciate
enough to
it.
say I appreciated the heck out of it because I really was doing that. And it wasn't so serious that it was a big deal, but it was so funny because I literally intentionally was not answering the question, but I was answering it if you listen between the lines, but I didn't make it easy. And so I really was just all over it. But it was like they called my BS.
Yeah.
But what I did gain
You
from
need
that
it.
person is man, it was a level of respect because I was like, okay, so I'm gonna have to be a straight up, no flowers, no woo woo with this person, and just say it exactly the way I mean because their personality
Yeah.
requires their
Requires
perspective
that.
requires
Yeah.
yeah, and so this person is not like everybody else. So then here, I'm just kind of tying that back to what you said. Like, you can't put your expectations of others because you hope it's going to be this way or you operate this
Yeah.
way. That's not fair because they can't. And so
Right.
it's wrong of me, to think that. And this is somebody that I've just encountered. So they're like calling it off the rip. They don't have anything to hold back. They're like, so you're just gonna BS your way all the way through that. You're deflecting. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
no, I'm not. Yes, you are. And it was just that kind of a thing. It was a funny conversation, but Belicia, I'm telling you, when you can check and be checked
Yep.
and you can stand up in that thing and what that person gave you by saying you have expectations of others that are unrealistic and you're penalizing them for it,
Yes.
that then gave you an opportunity to let all that be free
Yeah.
and enjoy the journey of being with that person. I'm gonna share this, and then we're gonna give you kind of like the last word on this thing. What I went on this retreat in 2018, and it was like my reset. I was planning 2019. I knew I was about to go through some life changes, and all kinds of things were about to happen. And so I was in this space, and I was like completely present, right, with it. I was not on my. There was no technology. It was like you're all in or nothing. And I said, I'm here for the experience. And one of the things that our mentor that was guiding that experience, she said, everyone gets to have their own experience,
Yeah.
right? The boss in me wants to make sure everybody has a controlled experience.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
Everybody gets to have their own experience, and you don't get to interfere with their journey. Like
It's
that's not
true.
yours.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
I'm gonna let you take that home with
So
that
just, you
because
know,
even the boss get checked on stuff.
it's true. And just checking yourself, knowing that you need to check yourself. You need to check yourself.
Yeah,
I have to check myself
seriously.
quite often, but trust me, my growth is impeccable, okay?
My growth game is amazing. Like I'm quick on it. Give me the lesson today. I got it in 30 minutes. I'm ready to rock. I have applied it. I've thought it through. I'm ready. Like, let's go. That's good
All
stuff.
right, so I'll just
So,
mainly
yeah.
what I want to everyone to focus on is total wellness. A lot of times it's hard for us to do, especially my self-diagnosed ADHD. I can start one thing, and by the end of it, I'm totally somewhere else, forgetting what I was working on.
Mhm.
But putting those things, writing them down, and really focusing on the balance in your life, not just. I read somewhere someone saying you can't be a good CEO if you're a horrible husband, or you can't be a good CEO if you're a horrible mother. Those things you don't get to have one good quality if you're lacking in other places, and which you can, but it's even better if those things are balanced, wouldn't it? I mean, just as a mother and a CEO, one can say she's a great business owner and even better businesswoman. A family woman. She takes care of her responsibilities, and I think it's the balance in it all. I think when we live a balanced life, we're creating peace and harmony in our everyday. Like there's not one thing that's going unattended to, because we know that we're in harmony with those things. I may not get to it today, or I may not put any focus on it today, but sometime this week it's going to get taken care of. I'm not just
Yeah.
putting that off because the business needs more of me. I need to figure out how I'm going to balance both of them. If that means that I have to wake up 30 minutes earlier to go to the business because I can't cut my hair appointment short, because when I'm in that chair, my phone's off and I don't have to worry about it. Whatever that looks like for you.
Yeah.
Um, Also, know what your priorities are. I think a lot of
Mhm.
times we're just waking up and going. And when you trust
Mhm.
me, when you just wake up and go, your day is all out of whack. Nothing, there's no
Yep.
structure for anything. You're all over the place. You really don't know what all you're supposed to be doing for the day. But when I know what my priorities are and I have my day planned to cater to those priorities, I get more done. I get a lot more done. Um, Create an efficient mindset, be organized and plan ahead. That is the worst. Like, we are procrastinators, and we just think that it's just going to fall together. But even though it does sometimes, most procrastinators, we make shit happen at the end. But just imagine if we had planned it
The
out,
stress.
how much more how grander it could be. So just be more efficient. If that means more efficient with for my entrepreneurs in your finances and your payroll and your employees, more efficient with how your what your policies are in your stores, in your kitchens, in your offices, whatever that means. If you were to hire someone um, new because something happened unexpectedly to the team that you had, could they come in and read your policies and procedures and know where to pick up? Or are you going to be boggled down having to try to explain to them 20 or 5 to 10 years of what you've already told your old employees? So get efficient, and until you get efficient, it's just going to be so much chaotic stress. Um, Expect the unexpected. My
Yes.
my therapist recommended. Oh, I can't even think of the book. I'm gonna put it on this post, but I think what I struggled with was wanting to control everything. I wanted to have control on how everything was run. And especially in my business, it can't be that way. If you cannot dictate or if you cannot delegate and allow other people to help you in areas that you just do not need to be, then there's only so far that you can that you can climb. So if you want to reach a certain level, make sure that you have delegate and have those things in place. But expect the unexpected, especially as a business owner. I just I put out fires every day. So I told my family, I was like, I really have an anger problem because like it's weird because the big things I don't get upset about because I just, that's what I do anyway. I put out fires every day. It's the little things like when a nail chips or I get cut off in traffic that I become Godzilla, whatever, I'm like, why did that make me so angry? And then if, my business is on fire, I'm like, oh, I can handle that.
Yeah.
um,
Yes.
but and to tie this all in, the reason that I'm able to continue to keep going forward and believe in myself and know that there's still greater despite of what we're currently in or what's currently around me is because I maintain a positive mindset, knowing that
Very.
no matter what, we could lose it all, but I'm not going to stay there. I'm not staying there, and I'm going to push forward. Whatever was supposed to happen in this season happened. And what makes me live and be fulfilled is knowing that I give my best. And when you give your best, there's nothing else that you could have done. It's when you don't push yourself and give your all when you have those questions. What if? There's no what ifs because I'm going to do the very best that I can. And I know that this was purpose because it's not where I wanted to be. And the fact that I'm able to have a platform where I continue to change lives and God continues to have someone that knew nothing about kitchen life to have a successful, thriving food business. I'm on to something great and I gotta stay on it. So I just maintain a positive life and keep believing in myself, even when it looks like it's about to blow up.
Belicia, you've just literally given so many people relief, permission,
I hope
an
so.
opportunity to thrive. No, you literally freed, I know for a fact you freed some mindsets.
Yeah.
And, whether they're with us live now or they catch the replay, you've just freed so many constraints that a lot of us have on ourselves in the space of business or in the space of parenting or in the space of relationships, in the space of growing, thriving. Even if you think you want to go into business and you're not sure, what
Right.
you've just done is shown everyone in such an incredible and remarkable way what's possible. And I mean that. You really have shown folks what's
Thank you.
possible. And the fact that your resilience is second to none. You're an absolute lioness. You're a fierce one, my dear. And
It
I,
scares me sometimes. I'm like, God, you
woo,
got me out here like feeling unstoppable, and I feel like I'm gonna have to prove it one day. I don't, I like I.
you're proving it every single day. And the one that you're proving it to most is you. And that's the one
Yeah.
that gets to be the change maker. And you're the freaking thought leader. And, I can personally look back and go, oh, I remember when. And this is not that, honey. I can attest to
Right.
it. I
You
feel
know how out of whack. No, I mean you helped me put some of those policies and procedures in place. It
you
just wasn't there. I was doing.
you nailed it. No, but your resilience and your ability to be agile is what has given you that long lasting, innovative perspective on all of it. So my hat and my crown is off to you, Belicia Pierce. I am absolutely excited that you were on tonight with the Smart CEOs. A
Thanks for having
stellar,
me.
oh, it was wonderful. A stellar conversation for an elite group of leaders that know that all you have to do is be smart enough to get in the room. That's who smart CEOs
Yeah.
are. And now here's an
Yeah.
opportunity for you to grow even more. So to everyone that was watching tonight and everyone that catches the replay, hashtag replay for us so that we know, and we'll come back and make sure that we're commenting, and we'll do it over the next couple of days. If Belicia and I are probably
Yes.
any much alike, we're going to be doing this until probably Saturday, coming back and chatting with you guys. So put your comments
Definitely.
in. We're going to see it. Thank you, everyone. Belicia, love you, girl. You did
Love you
amazing.
too. Thank you so much, Kyra.
Thank you for blessing the CEOs. Don't you go anywhere, Belicia. All right.
Okay.
Bye, guys.